In this lecture, we're going to cover the trail effects gizmo. The trail effects gizmo is designed to simplify the addition of visual elements, specifically trailing effects, to moving objects in your world. When the trail effects gizmo is active, it creates a visual trail that follows the gizmo as it moves. To add it to your world, just go to Build, Gizmos, and then find the trail effects gizmo. Drag and drop it into your world, and you will see when you move it around in edit mode, it will create a trail which follows the gizmo itself. Just like every other entity in the world, we've got attributes such as position, rotation, and scale, but we also got properties relating to the prototype trail gizmo itself, such as play on start, which would mean you don't have to manually activate the trail gizmo when it's in the world, and it will begin animating the trails as soon as the world starts. We've got the length, which is how far the trail will travel before it begins sort of tapering off and returning to the starting location. And then we've got the width. So let's set the width something like 1 so you can see it in effect. This is quite a huge sort of trail. And then if we set the length to 0.1, it'll be a very brief but very wide trail. You can also change the starting color and the ending color. And we've also got a few presets, such as a simple trail, which apparently doesn't want to render. Okay, let's do 0.35, 0.41. Let's try that again. There we go. So that's the simple trail. And we've also got a more tapered trail. So these are the only two presets that we have. And let's press play again. There we go. So we can see there's a taper toward the end right here. Right, so let's do length of 0.5. Let's keep that short. And now we can start and stop the preview. And the start and stop of preview allows you to see how the trail effect looks like whilst in build mode, which lets you fine-tune the visual aspects of the trail during building. If you go into play mode and the play and start is enabled, you'll notice that the particle gizmo doesn't have, not the particle gizmo, you will notice that the trail gizmo doesn't have any sort of acting effect on the scene, and that's because it is not moving. So what we can do is attach a simple script, which was used in a prior lecture for the dynamic lights, which simply moves this gizmo across the 4 nodes that I have set up in this scene. And then if I press play, apparently it will not animate. So I believe I need to set the length to something a bit longer, like 1, and let's increase the movement speed to something like 3, so we can see it in action. There we go. To the showcases of what a trail gizmo might look like in play mode. We can also attach the trail gizmo to a physical object. So if I go into build, shapes, and drop a sphere into the scene, something like this. Let's make it ocean interactive, and we'll also enable physics on it. Interaction, physics, and grabbable, perfect. We can use a custom gravity on it. So 0.9, let's do 0.4 minus 0.4, minus 4.81. That gives us sort of a more floaty bowl. Mass of 1, that is fine. We don't have to train anything else. But if we go ahead and right click on this new item, create a parent object, and then also set this parent object to physics and grabbable, which is custom gravity. I just realized that because we are grouping it, the child object will lose its interactive properties. So it doesn't really matter what we set the behavior of this child object, because the parent will override those behaviors, and that's unfortunately how Horizon works. You can't have 2 different behaviors. But what we can do afterwards is drag and drop the trail gizmo and zero out its position in the group, so we can see it sort of overlays the sphere. And I also made the scale a bit smaller so it doesn't interrupt us in edit mode. Now if we go like trail sphere, let's rename that. And then if we go into play mode, hopefully it will work. Right, I realize we still have the script attached. Let's go ahead and remove this script. Perfect. Start again. And there we go. We've got an interactive ball with a trail. And I believe its gravity should also be reduced. So if I go ahead and throw it, yeah, there we go. We can see we've got something like a projectile or ball, which will fall forever now. And that is the trail gizmo. Be like to create these nice, simple trails in your world.